Hi, it's Nikki Howard here with Intuartiv Expression. For those of you who've never watched a video or read about Intuartiv Expression, Intuartiv Expression is something that I created myself, and it's a journey back to you, to your soul, through the use of intuitive painting and essential oils. And it's a very specific method in a certain way, in the fact that we use layering. So we paint one layer, we dry it, we paint another layer, we dry it, etc. And each layer is treated as a separate canvas. And when we get beyond 3 or 4 layers, the brain suddenly lets go of any control, of any desire of wanting to get it right, because it realizes that painting over, it's going to get painted over, so what it has painted will not be seen anymore. And so it begins to say, okay, well, I can just let go then, and let's just see what happens. And that is where the magic really happens, after about 3 or 4 layers. And when we look at intuitive painting, when we do the process, it's almost like reading oracle cards, that we read into it what we feel, what our soul is really trying to tell us. And it can reveal a lot. It can reveal where we're blocking, it can reveal our fears, it can reveal, you know, happiness and joy, and where things are going right. It's just, for me, it's almost like an oracle card in the painting. And the essential oils are there to really help release the emotions, as well as interpret the emotions as well, because the oils that I use, the doTERRA essential oils, and these are high vibrational oils. And that means that because of their vibration, they're able to tap into the spiritual and emotional realms, whereas the normal everyday essential oils that you can find on the high street in the pharmacy, their vibration is lower, and that means that they only really tap into the physical. So they're extremely good for treating physical symptoms, but if you want to be working in the spiritual and emotional realms, you really need essential oils with a higher vibration. So we're going to stop the talking. Well, as an introduction, I shall be talking through the method and anything that comes up. So here we have a blank piece of paper. I have my oils set up over here, and you can just see out the corner, if I twist my camera, I have a load of paints as well, and my water. And of course I also have a hairdryer at hand for drying the oils. So all I'm going to do is just choose a colour that inspires me, or that just jumps out at me really, a pink, and I'm going for a green. Interesting. So even at this level, there's no prior thought of, do these colours go together? This is not an art class. It's just going with what your body is telling you to paint. And the orange has also jumped out. So this is quite colourful already. So if I just swap this over for a minute, and then you can see, so they're the 3 colours that I've done. I'm not going to use essential oils immediately. I'm going to go without the oils in the first layer, just because for me the first layer is really about connecting to the paper. It's less about what's really coming through, although it can be. So I'm just going to wet my brush, but it's really about connecting, as if like you're meeting a friend. It's that first instance where you're just basically saying hello and telling your soul that it's time. And again, this isn't about art, so it's not about painting something. This is about the journey and not the destination. It's just painting whatever you feel. And now when you're doing this at home, between each layer, you can take pictures of each layer and then journal about it, what's coming up. So for me already, interesting. Financial blocks. This E for my kind of reminds me of like the euro. That's what's coming to mind, and it's like the blocks behind it, putting up blocks. There's definitely a block there, and because it's quite colourful, it's also about the freedom. And you see how this is like with oracle cards. It's looking at the image and thinking, what's this telling me? And for me, this is telling me that there's joy. There's the green and the orange and the purple, but it's all behind bars, and this E is almost like the euro. So it's kind of like that financial abundance, which is something I'm working on at the minute. It feels unobtainable. It feels like it behind these bars. So I'm just going to dry this. And then we're going to go on to the second layer. Now I feel like keeping the colours I've just had, but I'm also going to add in the blue. And the way I'm choosing it, it's just like my eyes will suddenly fix on a colour. And now I'm going to choose an oil. Whoops. So I'm just closing my eyes. And I'm going to choose one. I'm going to, just one. And this one is Ylang Ylang. Now, off the top of my head, I know that Ylang Ylang is all about the inner child, the fun part. And I'm going to add this to the blue. So I'm just adding 1 drop of essential oil into the blue painting. And then when I've done the painting, I will then look at the oils and see what's coming through. I'm going to use a fan brush. So obviously the beauty of this as well, you're getting the smells coming through as you're painting. And what a wonderful sensory experience with the colour. And for those, I know I'd like to, often in the later part of the painting, I start painting with my fingers. So it's very, very based on the senses, very much based on the senses. You can do this with music, although I often find when I do it with music, I'm too influenced. I'm not there with my thoughts, I'm not there just going with my feeling. I'm going, it tends to influence me too much. Now, you may not get feelings straight away, or you may not get messages straight away. This is why it's good to take pictures and then to come back and have a look later on. Sometimes you can read more into it at a later date. Things don't always make sense until the end. We can go back and think, oh yeah, now I know what that was about. It just feels very much like flames. And again, I'm going to dry. And what I also like to do as well is to take the oil, just put a drop the palm of the hand, rub it together, and then breathe it in. And sometimes already breathing in the oil can already start to bring the emotions in. You obviously get it through the painting, but when you breathe it in through your hands, you're really taking in that oil, and you can just spend a few moments connecting to that oil and ask it what it's coming through. You know, what's coming through for me as well is about that, you know, when we saw this euro, that the finance is that I need to bring joy back into it, not striving, you know, to break down the bars, but also to allow the joy to come through those bars, allow it to come through to me rather than me going for it in that way. Right, I'm going to add in some yellow. And again, I'm going to choose an oil with my eyes closed. Siberian fir. So the reason why we choose with our eyes closed, or we just go with our intuition, is that it's not about choosing an oil to match what we're feeling. Again, because these oils are high vibrational, they're very intuitive, so they connect to our energy field, and you don't even need to know what oil you're choosing, especially when you do it with your eyes closed. You're not going to be able to. And it will bring up emotions sometimes that you hadn't even realised that were there, and it's extremely powerful. So I've just added a Siberian fir to the yellow, and now I really want to go I have a feeling Siberian fir is about generational issues, but I'll have a look at the end. If any of you see anything in this painting, please do put, you know, your thoughts in the comments of what you see or what you feel from the painting. There is no right or wrong. It's all just interpretation, as it is with oracle cards, really. There is no prior thought to what I'm wanting to paint. Sometimes the idea just comes in just before I do it. Again, I'm going to dry this. I'm actually going to turn it upside down just to see if there's anything coming through from that. Often you can get in the first few layers this little voice come up thinking, I've got no idea what this is about, I can't see anything in it. It's completely normal. It's just your brain just scared to let go. So it's totally normal. Even I get it as well. And right now I'm thinking, what the heck is this? But that's just the way. So I'm also going to choose lilac now. And also the red is jumping out at me. And again, an oil. Purify. Interesting. So adding a drop of Purify into the red and into the purple. I'm taking my bigger brush now. Just dropping it in the water to wet it first. You see how each layer is unconnected. They're just separate entities on their own. What I've just realised is that I'm using the colours from all of the chakras. If I just show you. So we have the red for the root chakra, we have the orange for the sacral, the yellow for the solar plexus, the green for the heart, the blue for the throat chakra, and the violet for the pink, purple for the crown. That was totally unintentional. It's just dawned on me thinking, oh my God. So and I'm also getting I've actually got emotions coming up right now. I've got tears, and I've also got almost like a constriction in my solar plexus, and a lot of tears really just on the surface. So interesting. This actually feels really powerful right now. And you see how things just take control, that there's no intention behind this, things just happen. Oh. I'm actually going to put a drop of that Purify into my hand. So this kind of feels like it's purifying old energies. I hadn't done the Siberian fir, so I'm also going to drop a drop of that in my hand. And as I say, I'm going to warm them up together, and then I'm going to breathe them in. Interesting, I had a vision then of like the Siberian fir, of a fir tree losing all its pine needles. So that's not normal for a pine cone, for a pine. So that kind of feels like it's releasing something. I'm just going to get my emotion book about my essential oils. I'll be back in one moment. In the meantime, just have a look at the painting and just see what you feel from it. So I just have my essential emotions book, and I just want to quickly look up, not to go into too much detail, but just to see Siberian fir. Yes, aging and perspective. Siberian fir addresses generational healing from the perspective of the mature. It assists during the twilight years as individuals transition into a more full, mature awareness. This period in one's life cycle can be beset with losses of many kinds. Siberian fir offers comfort and support during periods of grief, regret, and longing. It aids in the necessary healing and reconciliation process for a life full of mixed experiences. Siberian fir encourages an honest and gentle approach to assessing one's life choices, influence, and legacy. Upon reflection, all people will find moments of regret and moments of they cherish. Siberian fir teaches that without the winds of opposition, individuals would never have gained the wisdom and strength they now possess. It also reminds that forgiveness Both needing to forgive and needing to be forgiven is integral to development. Siberian fir helps to ease difficult transitions by encouraging individuals to focus on finding meaning and purpose within each new chapter. As they progress through the life, individuals may need to realign their hopes and aspirations to the realities of the present moment. Siberian fir offers its steady energy through periods of change and adjustment, reminding individuals to look for the good and remember that they're inherently valuable and needed. The best gift that can be given to the next generation is sharing a heart at peace. Very interesting. Just looking at this, it almost looks like, and it looks like a fir tree. Wow. Yes, I shall see what comes up in further layers. I'm just going to dry this one. I actually like to draw the paint through as I'm drying. One, so it dries easier, but also it can reveal something else underneath, as well as it giving texture to the final picture, which is something that I really do like, is to have texture and depth within it. Yeah, something else was coming through then. I can't remember what it was, but it's gone. Never mind. So I've chosen the orange. And it's like these skinny buttercup colour, not buttercup, very, very pale. And another oil. Yes, that was what I was going to say. Lime is the next one. We don't always know how it all fits together, and it's kind of like in life as well, that we don't know why something happens, but it's only when we get to the end that we realise why that happened and how it all fits in. And so you may not understand immediately what's going on. You just see that part of it, but when you see the whole bigger picture, that's when you really begin to understand the journey. So again, I've added lime into the mix and just breathing that in. And I'm adding lime, a drop of lime, just to the white. I don't really want to do it for the orange for some reason, but hey ho. And then I'm actually going to use a palette. You know, if this very much feels like two, almost two paintings, top and bottom. So this isn't about painting a pretty picture. It's just about, you know, making it look perfect. It's just I'm adding another colour in. This one has jumped out at me as well. changing brush. It's really not about, it's about not thinking what you were drawing, what you were painting. I have no idea where this is going right now, but that's okay. Some layers I found that can just be about releasing emotion. It doesn't have to be about anything else but that. Pink is coming through. And it's sometimes when I get to zones like this, I think, what is this? But it's also just because my body's just needing to do it, and that is it. And we have bergamot mint, which I'm adding into the pink. I'm also going to choose another colour. There's green. Lots of hot chakra going on in there. I've got more tears coming up right now. So there's definitely some release going on. Obviously this is harder for me to do on camera because I'm not fully present. I'm also here with you as well. So I don't get fully into the feeling. And some yellow. And when you do your painting, do it on paper, not on canvas, because this isn't about something you're going to put on the wall. You can burn it, you can put it away, you can fold it up, you can cut it, you know, and that's why it's just so lovely doing it on paper. It takes you into a different mindset than on the canvas. what also just came up then was like I was almost staring down through the heart chakra, staring into the solar plexus, like really looking down on top and going within. And now I'm going to top it up with a grey and a bronzy colour. I feel like it's actually coming to a close. I'm going to add one more oil. Air. Time to breathe. Still feeling a lot of emotion coming up. Now you will know when it's the end of the painting, you'll probably feel emotionally done and emptied. Your painting may just feel complete, that you just don't need anything more to get out there. But always take it beyond 3 or 4 layers, so you're really allowing emotions to come through. A bit of turquoise coming on. It always seems to appear in my paper, in my work. You can, if you want, also do a small meditation, but before you do a painting, you can set an intention for what you want to work on. And I feel that is now finished. So what is good is to go back and have a look at the oils that were used, and to say, you know, you've taken photographs, and then you can journal your way through the painting. So I'm not going to read all the text of all the oils, but I'm just going to give you a summary of each. So we had lime, which is the zest for life. which works on the feelings of apathetic and resigned, grieving, loss of will to live and discouraged. It brings people back into the heart and clears congestion for the heart. Now, what is interesting is also the air oil that I used, because that is also about bringing air. I should probably only breathe. Supports one relationship with spirit, deepens one connection to life, to breathe out and to receive, to breathe in. Sad, grieving, again, despairing. I should put all these in the text as well, under the video. Bergamot and mint. Revived heart. This is all coming through for the heart chakra. Bergamot mint encourages individuals to consciously consider if they're welcome in their own heart. It invites them to come home to themselves and to be inspired from within. We did somebody refer, purify. Purification. Releasing toxic emotions, entering a cleansing state, which is quite completely normal in the painting. In order to heal, one must receive. But in order to receive, one must first release what is blocking the new clean energy from entering. So this kind of really feels to me, it's clearing out the old to start anew. That the line hit with the dividing. Before we had, as I said, it felt like two pictures. There was above and below. And it really feels like letting go of how things were, even of old beliefs or the old ways of thinking. And bringing in that there's this line is a transition into a new way of being, and clearing out that this old energy with purify, so that we can really fully come into the heart. And it's interesting with the colours of the chakras, the heart is right in the centre of the lower chakras and the higher centres, the higher chakras, so it's creating a real harmony. And the Siberian fir is letting go of those, of that old way of being, that transition. And to me, it's also the transition from the old way of being to the new way of being. So there you go. I would love for you to have a go at home and try this. You can hop over to my group on Facebook, which is Intuartiv Expression. And I look forward to hearing, any comments as well. Please put down anything you felt about this. And I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.